Welcome back to my channel. I'm James. Today we're going to be reviewing and deep diving into the action thriller classic Ronin and the Manchurian Candidate new 4K Ultra HD releases that'll be coming out here in about a week and a half from when this video goes live. Now, I did get these in over 2 weeks early for review, and I always appreciate when Kino Lorber reaches out and sends me things early for review. So huge shout out and thank you to Kino Lorber. Though as always, just because something was sent to me early for review, as all of you know that have followed me for a long time here on my YouTube channel, that never affects the testing data, my review scores, or analysis on any of these releases. But these are pretty darned exciting 4K Ultra HD releases from John Frankenheimer. He's the director, and he did a lot of these like action, thriller, mysteries over his career. And I will say these are two personal favorite films of mine, and I've always really enjoyed these. Well, today I'm going to dive into these, compare them to the previous Blu Ray releases, let you know the quality of these, and show you my exclusive image comparison, showing you the comparisons of these 4K native images to the previous Blu Ray releases to let you know what the exact quality of these are, if they're worth actually buying, adding to your collection, or upgrading to. And then at the end, as always, I wrap it up with my review scores. So we've got a lot of exciting information to dive into here today. Now to start off with, I'm going to show you the native image pulled from my Arrow Video 2017 limited edition Blu Ray release. I've always enjoyed this Arrow Video Blu Ray release. If you've followed me here on my YouTube channel for a while, you know I've talked about this a lot over the years. I actually reviewed this many years ago when this first came out. And it's one of those Blu Ray releases that I've always enjoyed, and it was a nice appreciable upgrade on this Blu Ray versus the previous Blu Rays from MGM before this. Though there was still some things, even when I initially talked about this many years ago, that I did want to see improved on it, because this did have issues with film grain instabilities. There's some blocking, there's clumping of the film grain, there's fluctuations of the film grain on it, though I will say it is a drastic improvement over the MGM Blu-ray that was released before this one was in 2017. Now that image up above you see is the native image pulled directly from these discs. As always, that's without all the artificial things your TV can do to pump up color saturation or to change the image by upscaling or changing it slightly. These are always the native images, which makes the biggest difference in what we see on our TVs pulled directly from these discs that you're seeing up above. Now in comparison to Kino Lorber's new 4K Ultra HD release, this is a native 4K 2160p. And it was created from a brand new 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative, not the exact same transfer that was used for Arrow videos. This is a brand new one that they did for this release from Kino Lorber. And let me tell you, that's a good thing for several reasons. Now, there are some things that were slightly shocking about it in some ways that took a little adjustment. But once I got watching it, sitting down, going side by side between this and the 2017 Blu Ray release from Arrow Video, I started to notice some drastic differences, especially in color tones. I'll explain what I mean about that. On the previous Blu Ray release from Arrow Video, there was another thing that I disliked about it when I watched it originally, and it was that everybody looked tan in it. What I mean by that is after you get past the initial opening scene, when you start to get to outdoor scenes, daytime scenes, you start to notice everybody's skin tones is more of an orangish tan, even though that's not the way all of their skin tones actually were. So there was some things on this that had slightly changed on the actual color tones, on skin tones specifically. On the new 4K Ultra HD release, it does have a more natural and realistic color grading and skin tones due to the brand new Dolby Vision and HDR10 master that they did for this. So you will notice in skin tones, they do just retain a more lifelike presentation. They have more of that more normal whitish skin tone. Then when they're in the sun, it does have more of a glow to the skin that looks lifelike. Whereas on the previous Blu Ray from Arrow Video, everybody just looks slightly tan on the more brownish orangish side of skin tones throughout any outdoor scenes that were on that Arrow Video Blu Ray. On this one, it just looks normal and natural, and they all have varying skin tones, whereas there is some scenes on the Arrow Video, if you go and watch the Arrow Video Blu Ray release and you own it, like when Robert De Niro is walking with Natasha by the actual carousel, and you look at their skins on the Arrow Video Blu Ray release, it has all of their skin tones as being basically the same skin tones, where they both look the same. On this, it's not. You can see the difference between her skin tone is different than Robert De Niro's skin tone, which is lifelike and realistic the way it's supposed to be, which is where this new 4K scan and Dolby Vision and HDR10 Master makes a nice difference that you do notice those differences, and that's just one of the differences between them. Now, if you decide after watching this review that you want to pick up Ronin on 4K Ultra HD or the previous Blu Ray release, I'll list all of those direct links in the description section and as a pinned comment in the comment section below. I've done all the work for you. Those links that you click on down there never cost you even a penny extra. They do help to support the creation of exclusive videos just like this, just a tiny bit. So make sure if you decide you're gonna buy Ronin on 4K Ultra HD, to click on those links down there in the description section and as a pinned comment in the comment section below. Another big change and another drastic improvement on this 4K Ultra HD release is in the film grain. So on the Aero video release, as I said, I really enjoyed that Aero video release. It's kind of one of those surprising things when you notice something that you've enjoyed before, but something better looking comes out and you start to compare them side by side, and you start to notice the differences that this is an upgrade. It is kind of one of those surprising things because, as I said, I enjoyed the Aero. Well, another big thing that was a big change. On the Aero video, it did have instabilities in the film grain. It had clumping and blocking, and there was numerous instabilities where you'd notice the film grain fluctuating and vibrating on the Aero video release. I am happy to report on this new Kino Lorber 4K Ultra HD release that is completely gone, repaired, fixed. There is no instabilities in the film grain whatsoever from beginning to end of this film. The film grain is very nicely filmic throughout it, but it is not done where you notice any of that digital blocking, digital noise, clumping, or any of those instabilities in the film grain that were present on Aero videos are completely gone on this. But it's surprising once you see how good the 4K Ultra HD release looks in comparison to it. You start to notice the amount of depth and detail that's present in this image. There's no black crush present on this, but it does have very nice whites and inky blacks on it. The color grading on this, as I said, is a nice improvement on this, but it is kind of a surprising change that did take me just a little bit to get used to. So it is one of those things. I've seen that Aero video Blu Ray probably about 5 or 6 times since I've gotten it, and I really enjoy the film, so that's why I've watched it so many times. So going in and seeing how there is some changes, there is one important thing I will point out though. On this, because it does have Dolby Vision and HDR10, it is very important for releases like this that you have a properly or professionally calibrated 4K display, so that way you get the correct image on these 4K releases. A lot of people think, well, I bought my TV at Walmart or Best Buy, it's good to go. It's not. No TV comes with the correct colors or is calibrated correctly. They all need a professional and proper calibration to get the proper image out of these 4K Ultra HD releases. Even if you spent, like I have, thousands and thousands on your TVs, that does not mean they come professionally or properly calibrated. There is always color errors and lights to dark errors, contrast errors that need set up correctly on your TV. So I'm gonna point that out right away, because if you don't have that set up correctly, when it switches to Dolby Vision on this disc, if you have Dolby Vision on your TV, that's a whole nother subset of settings that if you don't have set up correctly, it will present the image drastically different than what is intended for this 4K Ultra HD release. Now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to go down there, give this video a like and a thumbs up for me, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. Just like with this video, I release all this exclusive early content that you're never gonna wanna miss out here on my YouTube channel. So make sure to go down there, give this video a like and a thumbs up for me, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. Now talking about the audio, this does get English DTS HD Master Audio Lossless 5.1 and 2.0 mixes. I will tell you the 5.1 is what I've always enjoyed. In comparison on the audio to the previous Aero video release, which had a very good audio mix on it, this one is just a slight improvement. The things I noticed that were different on it are just slight. And when I say slight, I'm meaning slight. For example, the range just sounded slightly better. There was slightly more LFE in certain areas, but slight. And I will say there was a little bit better clarity, but just slight. So we're not talking the audio is gonna blow you away as the biggest improvement ever, but those slight things, I'll take that with the upgrade, because the image is where you notice so much detail that was not present on the previous Aero video release, because of those instabilities in the film grain and things that it had with that film grain, it kind of masked some of that clumping, and things would mask some of the details that were present on that. Because those are all gone, you can see so much more in their pores and depth in their skin and hair. There is a lot more details present in this that are a really nice drastic improvement. Now, showing you what you get in this, you do get a slipcover in the first pressings of these Kino Lorber releases. So if you decide you want to buy this, remember you don't want to wait too long to pre-order yours, because these are limited edition slipcovers. Once they sell out, they do not print them again. On this, it does say Ronin, side it's in red. Then on the back it talks about it. Now I am going to touch on the special features here. I went through every single one of the special features on this in comparison to the previous Aero Video Blu Ray release. I'm happy to report this 4K contains every single special feature that was on this one except for one. So, and it's basically a retrospective on Robert De Niro that was done with Quentin Tarantino, talking about his history in filmmaking and how he's made films and been an actor for years. That is the only special feature called You Talking to Me that was on this Aero Video release that is not on the Kino Lorber release. So literally, if you want that special feature, that is the only thing that you're not getting on Kino Lorbers that you got on this previous Aero Video release. Otherwise, to be honest with you, I'm not going to be watching this one again, so there's no need to keep this unless you want that one single special feature. Otherwise, they are all included on here, all of the rest of them, including the audio commentary by John Frankenheimer that's both on the 4K Ultra HD disc and the Blu Ray disc in this set. Now, showing you what you get in this, there is no reversible slipcover, but this is your 4K Ultra HD disc, and that's 100% region free. Your Blu Ray disc, though, is region A locked. As always, I exclusively test everything. I'm going to touch on this again here for a second. I recently got in some Shout Factory releases that I have not had time to review yet, but they were all region A locked on the 4K discs as well. This one is not. Kino Lorber's 4K Ultra HD release of Ronin is region free. So those of you worldwide that want to buy this and import this through that link I've posted below, it'll ship anywhere worldwide and you'll be able to watch the 4K disc no issue. But I will warn you, I've been testing Shout Factory's releases lately, and they have really dropped the ball and really screwed the pooch lately. And they have been region locking their 4K Ultra HD discs and releases. It's a big disappointing thing, and I'm hoping to make a video about it here in the future. I've just been extremely busy, as all of you know, with stuff coming in that I kind of prioritize things. And because Shout Factory has been having so many issues lately, I just have not had time to touch on that. But I will tell you that is why I always exclusively test every single disc on 4K and Blu Ray, because there's companies that are still region locking 4K discs. And I will tell you that makes like number 18 of region locked 4K discs that I've tested and found out about. So that's another exclusive thing I do here on my channel that you'll want to make sure you're subscribed so you never miss out on. Now, talking about another Robert De Niro film that I recently reviewed on 4K Ultra HD that you're going to want to check out that review after you get done watching this, is Midnight Run. That was another fun Robert De Niro film that it just got a 4K Ultra HD release, and I did my exclusive review on that. If you haven't checked out that review yet, you're going to want to go check out that review after you get done watching this video. But getting to the rough average bitrate on this, I am very happy to report this had a shockingly high and healthy 98 megabits per second. It was a jaw-dropping high rough average bitrate. I was shocked at the quality that they put on this 4K Ultra HD disc. They did not cut corners, they did not overcompress it. It is literally an extremely shockingly high rough average bitrate that made this just such an enjoyable viewing experience. Now, touching on why I love the film for a minute here, I've always loved Ronin because it is one of those films that has such a good feeling of practical effects and a thriller with a slight mystery and action and espionage all combined together in John Frankenheimer's action classic. I've loved this film. It was one of the final films in that era where they did all the practical effects where cars would really explode. It wasn't a bunch of CGI and it wasn't a bunch of stuff where it was all fake. They literally used practical effects in this wonderfully. I love the gunplay in it. It's very exciting and just a wonderful action film that no matter how many times I experience it, I love it every single time. Getting to my review score for Kino Lorber's 4K Ultra HD release, this gets a superb 9.6. This is a must buy. You need to buy and add to your collection. If you have not already gone down there and ordered it or pre-ordered it through that link down there below, depending on when you're watching this video, I put those direct links from Amazon in the description section and as a pinned comment in the comment section below. Remember, it's important if you're going to buy this or add this to your collection now that you've seen my review, to click on those links I've posted down there below. They support the creation of videos just like this, just a tiny bit. I can tell you this is one of those I was extremely happy with. Though, like I said, you will be in for a slight shocking change when you notice that the skin tones look more natural between each person. They are much more natural in this, that I didn't realize how much more natural they looked between each person, the varying shades that each person had in skin tones. It was a very nice job that Kino Lorber did with this. I was very, very happy, and I was shocked by the rough average bitrate. Great job, Kino Lorber, on this. This is a must buy you need to add to your collection. Make sure to start the conversation in the comment section below and let me know if you're gonna buy this and add this to your collection. Now, if you're excited for this, this is coming out in about a week and a half from when I'll be releasing this video. Let me know how excited you are to know that you've got something exciting to look forward to for such a great action classic. As always, if you enjoy these videos and these videos help you out, make sure to join my Collectors VIP Club. It's very important to the creation of videos just like this. Nobody else wants to take the time to pull all the data off of the disc, do these side-by-side comparisons, analysis, testing data. It takes a ton of time and a ton of work for me to create every single one of these exclusive videos here on my YouTube channel. If you enjoy all the time and the hard work I put into every single one of these videos, make sure to join my Collectors VIP Club. And there's a button here on the YouTube channel that says join, support the channel. When you click on that, it only costs you a couple of bucks every month. You could probably find that change in the seat of your car, but that drastically helps me to be able to continue doing videos just like this. They're expensive and time consuming, and that's why no one else does them. So make sure if you enjoy these videos to support me through my Collectors VIP Club by joining the VIP Club. And I wanna say thank you to all my current VIP Club members. You truly do help out and you make a huge difference, and I appreciate every single one of you. Next up, we have the Manchurian Candidate from 1962. This is another John Frankenheimer classic film. He did a lot of amazing films over his career. If you go and look at his history of filmmaking, man, did he have some amazing films throughout his career. This is one I've always enjoyed. It kind of mixes some sci-fi elements, war, mystery, thriller, all combined together in like a political aspect of it. It's a really fun film. They did remake it later on, and I enjoyed the remake as well. But the classic's always where I enjoy it, and I was curious how this one was going to turn out. And I can tell you in comparison to the previous 2016 Criterion Collection Blu Ray release, there is some big changes. For example, on this it is a native 4K 2160p. It was created from a brand new 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative. And it does have a brand new Dolby Vision and HDR10 master. And here's where you're going to get into some big changes between the Criterion Collection 2016 Blu-ray. On the 2016 Blu-ray, it had a lot of fluctuations in film grain, big instabilities. There were smudges, little wrinkles. There was just numerous things overall that still needed fixed on that Criterion Collection Blu-ray release. I can tell you happily on this, the only thing you're really going to notice throughout it is the instabilities in the film grain. They are much better than on the 2016 Blu-ray release. You don't notice the big fluctuations as heavily, you don't notice any clumping or blocking on this new 4K release, and those smudges and little like wrinkles in the film, all of that is completely gone. The blots and splotches are completely gone on this 4K release as well. So all of the stuff that Criterion Collection Blu-ray release that I own had are completely repaired on this to where you don't notice or see any of them at all. And this does have very nice looking film grain throughout it. Just keep in mind you will still have fluctuations. It's just they fixed and got rid of all those blots and splotches, which make this very nice looking, including that HDR10 and Dolby Vision. The lights to darks on this are gorgeous with brilliant whites, inky blacks, and no black crush whatsoever, which is a big improvement over the previous Blu-ray release as well. Another drastic improvement on the Manchurian Candidate is this does have English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 and 2.0 mix. That is a big difference between the Criterion Collection Blu-ray release, because on that, we only got an LPCM mono That was it. That was the mix we got on it. So this one, they did do a nice DTS HD Master Audio 5.1. That was a nice improvement. I was really surprised at how good of a job they did with it, making it sound like a decent 5.1 mix that moved things around a lot more. It had much better clarity. There wasn't any of those clicks or hisses that were present on the Criterion Collection Blu-ray. Those are completely gone on this new 4K Ultra HD release, and I thoroughly enjoyed the 5.1 mix, and it was a very healthy improvement over Criterion Collection's Blu-ray release on the audio department that made this a very worthwhile upgrade in that sense alone. Now, if you enjoy a lot of these classic black and white films, I previously reviewed The Maltese Falcon. If you haven't checked out that film, that's another really great classic black and white film. You'll want to go check out my review after you get done watching this video, but that is one I do recommend checking out. If you enjoy classic black and white films with kind of mystery, thriller, suspense in them, that's a very good film. Now, showing what you get in this, again, these are first pressing slipcovers. I love this artwork they did for this with the bright, like pinkish colors on it. On the side, it has the same color on it. Talks about it, special features, you get audio commentary by John Frankenheimer, the Manchurian Candidate interviews, Queen of Diamonds interview with actress Angela Lansbury. I love Angela Lansbury. If you've checked out some of my previous videos, like I reviewed the Blu-ray release that was remastered of Murder, She Wrote. Love Angela Lansbury. But anyhow, how to get shot, outtakes, a little solitaire, interview with filmmaker, phone call outtakes, and theatrical trailer. So it has a very nice selection of bonus features on this, and I've got a special surprise for you when we get inside here. Now, inside here, you do get your 4K Ultra HD disc. I tested this, it's 100% region free. On your Blu-ray disc, I got the surprise for you. This is 100% region free as well. Kino Lorber did not region lock the Blu-ray disc with all of the special features on it at all. So those of you worldwide that want to buy or import this, your Blu-ray disc on this is 100% region free. They did not region lock it at all. Even though on the back of the case here, they did mark it as region A locked. That is not the case. The disc itself is 100% region free along with your 4K Ultra HD disc. So that is some great news for everyone worldwide. Neither disc is region locked. Now, getting to the rough average bitrate, I dived into this, and this had a very healthy and very strong rough average bitrate of 76 megabits per second. Now, it wasn't as strong and healthy as Ronin, but it was still very good for a black and white film. And when you get up into those high 70s, that's a great rough average bitrate. It looks good on it, though like I said, keep in mind because the film came out in 1962, that is why even though they did a brand new scan and restoration, you see that noticeably on this versus the Criterion Collection Blu-ray release, but I can tell you it is still a drastic, noticeable improvement over the Criterion Collection Blu-ray release, and I am very excited for this release. Getting to my review score, this gets an excellent 9.4. It is a must-buy that you're going to want to buy and add to your collection. For a black and white film from 1962, Kino Lorber did an excellent job with this. I was thoroughly thrilled with it. Even though, like I said, there is some slight instabilities you'll notice. The overall image, the 5.1 surround sound mix they did for this was such an enjoyable thing that made it, just if that was all it had alone over the previous Criterion Collection Blu-ray, would have made it worth the upgrade and purchase alone. The other things they did on this with the image as well made this one of those must-buy 4K Ultra HD releases. Now, if you haven't checked out my Night of the Hunter 4K review, that's one you're going to want to go check out so you get a comparison to what the image quality and sound quality of this is in comparison to the Night of the Hunter. If you've already gotten that 4K Ultra HD release, you'll understand then when you heard my review score and what I had to say about that in comparison to how this one looks and sounds. That is how good of a job Kino Lorber did for this release. It is a must-buy, wonderful 4K Ultra HD release. To tell you why I like this film, it's basically set back that basically during the war in Korea, there's an experiment that's done. They're kind of like shying away from telling you exactly everything about it. They kind of disclose it as it goes along. But basically they brainwash, and this is in the first few minutes you find this out, so I'm not giving away too much, but they brainwash some of these soldiers to basically be that they're going to control them when they go back to the US. And it's a very interesting story how the political intrigue, who's pulling the strings, who's in charge, who's being controlled, who's not being controlled. It's done very well in it, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat guessing at what's gonna happen, what's the point, why did they do it, who's in charge, who's not. It'll really surprise you if you haven't seen this film before when they give the big reveal. And I don't want to give it away because it is a fun film to dive into, and it is an absolute stone cold John Frankenheimer classic. To be honest with you, I truly hope that Kino Lorber releases every single John Frankenheimer film on 4K Ultra HD, just like what they did with Ronin here, the Manchurian Candidate. Kino Lorber, I really hope you will continue releasing just like these John Frankenheimer classics on 4K, because I would love to have all of John Frankenheimer's films on 4K Ultra HD. That would be an awesome collection to have, especially in these quality. For a black and white film, this was one of my favorite black and white releases we've gotten in a long time. You will thoroughly be blown away by this release and enjoy it. The depth and detail that they were able to pull from the image is truly shocking. When you see like Frank Sinatra's character, he's sitting on the train, if you remember that part where he's actually sitting on the train, he starts sweating just profusely. I'm talking, it looks like a guy's pouring sweat. On the previous Criterion Collection Blu Ray, you could see it, but you really couldn't see his pores and the sweat coming out of the pores and going through the pores and the skin on his face and the pores on his face and the sweat going into those pores. You couldn't notice that depth and detail on the Blu Ray. On this, you can see every pore, every wrinkle. When he wrinkles his brow and the sweat's wrinkling up in it, man, the amount of detail they were able to draw out of the image for a black and white film is really surprising, and is why this got an excellent 9.5, and it's a must buy you're going to want to have in your collection, especially for the fact of what I said that they did for both of the discs in this set. For those of you worldwide, this is an exciting release that you can get and not have any issues with. Make sure to start that conversation in the comment section below. Let me know how excited you are for this release, how excited you are for Ronin. Let me know what other John Frankenheimer classics you would love to have on 4K Ultra HD. Make sure to start that conversation in the comment section below. If you decide you're buying either of these 4K Ultra HD releases, make sure to click on those links I've posted down below from Amazon. Those links down there never cost you a penny extra when you buy through them. They do help to support this YouTube channel, and they're very, very important. So make sure if you're going to buy either of these releases to click on those links I've posted down below. If you enjoyed this video and all this exclusive image comparisons and analysis that I do here, make sure to join my Collectors VIP Club. As I said, it only costs you a couple of bucks, but it truly does make a difference. And if you watch these videos, you know how much time and how much of my heart and soul I put into every single one of these. So make sure to support this YouTube channel. I've been looking forward to doing these reviews for a very long time, since I announced these releases over a year ago. And I do appreciate that Kino Lorber continually sends these to me early for review so I can do all these in-depth and analysis for all of you. I can tell you these are an exciting time for us as collectors, because we are getting some absolutely amazing 4K restorations and releases. If you follow my community section here on my YouTube channel or my Twitter, I post constantly about announcements that are sent to me from studios about upcoming 4K releases. If you haven't followed me on my Twitter yet, you really need to follow me on there. But I really had fun diving into these because these are such great films. Let me know if you've seen both of these films before. As always, I truly hope all of you have a blessed day. I've always got something new, early, exclusive, and exciting coming out very soon.